Come on, Chacha.
Oh, it's an elevation.
Come on, Xavier. Xavier.
Hello and welcome in to Darcy Street for this round 7 NPL matchup between South Hobart and Devonport. Absolutely mouth-watering contest we have for you today. Two of the most successful clubs, at least in the modern era in Tasmania, definitely in the NPL itself. Two dominant sides and two teams that are locked together on 18 points on the table. Number 1 and 2, only a few goals of goal difference separating them. This could go a long way to deciding the eventual winner of the NPL in 2026. My name is Alex Mummery. Thank you for joining us today. It's a beautiful day here at Darcy Street, almost maybe a little bit too sunny. I hate to say that in early May, but it might be tough work out there for the players today as they go through the pre-match lineups. I'll take you through who's playing today. It's the home team in red today with South Hobart. In goals, we have I'm going through the wrong team. Luca Fragasso, who's come in this season in for Nick O'Connell, who's moved down to Kingborough. David Son, another new player, playing at fullback with Jack Bowman, coming back down from up north and are involved with Northern Rangers set up for a few years. Masashi Kukubo marshalling the back line with Jacob Lancaster at centre-back. Sam Berezanski had an excellent year last season in the midfield with Kobe Kemp. Divine Samuel, another new player for South Hobart this year, who has been amongst the goals, starting up front with Nick Morton and then Harry Oates and Rex Maddock. Dynamic, pacey duo on the wings for Devonport in yellow today. Been in good form, a bit of a return to form after a bit of a struggle over the last few years, a little bit of a rebuild and maybe a struggle with identity in some ways. And I think Tom Ballantyne's got them back together and solved some of the issues that they had, I guess, in terms of player movement. We'll run you through their side. So Tiger Harper is in goals for them with Dom Smith, Toby Barton and Connor Park will be in the back line. Very experienced back three for them. Brody Dennehy has come back from a couple of years off and with a nose for goals. Former Golden Boot winner in NPL Tasmania with Ivan Jolivet, French by way of America, I'm reliably told. Josh Tollivy's been immense since he's come in, leading the line for Devonport with Courage Lewa, Isaac Bates, Brady Last, and Liam Kelly rounding out the 11. As I said, it's been a really interesting start to this season for both teams. South probably having slightly more comfortable wins, and that's reflected by the better goal difference, but Devonport sort of just returning to that efficient machine, really characterised their play over the last few years. These are two of the only sides that have ever won the title at NPL level. A bit of a trivia one. Who are the other two? Might let you know at halftime. One should be easy for you. Only happening a couple of years ago. But the other, we'll leave you to have a bit of a mull over that. We'll get back to that throughout the game. But as I said, this could be a match that won't decide the title today, obviously, with the return leg coming at Valley Road. However, South Hobart in particular, new coach Pete Edwards, who's really hit the ground running throughout this whole, dating back to when he came in at Australian Championship level, will want to see if they can't repeat this season with a bit of a dominant start. And Devonport will have the kick and do the tactic that PSG have been employing recently. A few other clubs, just put it up forward so we can start to press, and Lancaster will try to go exactly the other way with Toby Barton. His ball is cut out, and then Morton looks to play in the pacey Oates. This is an interesting front three for South, with Morton playing a little bit more withdrawn in that traditional number 10, and two very young pacey players. Rex Maddock in particular played really well for sort of his experience level in that Oz Championship run, and it's been good this season, hopefully going to another level if you're a South supporter. As Lewa makes a nice run, he's onside and gets rid of it a little bit early. Kukubo will play it through. And Oates, in a one-on-one with Park, goes around, and Lewa's tracking hard back. No foul there. Oates will poke it through to Samuel. Does he get a shooting opportunity? Big tackle made in there, and the clearance will come from Dom Smith. Already the pace is up in this contest as Bowman loves the challenge. And we'll go into Oates, and will South Hobart try and settle on some possession here? Fragasso, a young keeper, but very well credentialed coming in this season. And that's probably a bit of a talking point in terms of personnel this season. A few players leaving South Hobart, notably like a Seljuk and Nick O'Connell going down to Kingborough, just going down the outlet. I think Nick O'Connell had a bit of a blinding season last year. Would have had very big boots to fill, but seems like he's stepped into that role really well so far, Luca Fragasso. Devonport will try and get something going. Little triangle. And Jolivet tries to run it through. And Oates have a bit of space. Go low to the top of the box and easily cleared out of the way there by Isaac Bates. Maddock. Clearance is blocked. Well blocked again there by Morton. And just out for a throw in. Good energy to this one. I think people are up for this contest. It's been the last few weeks for both teams. I guess Devonport last week in the Cup had a probably more stiff challenge coming down to play Clarence Zebras, where they dealt with fairly comfortably in the end. South Hobart taking on championship side of Hobart City, who are definitely no slouches themselves. There's a bit of a debate about whose ball that one is. Big long throw from Son. Barton up for the header. Morton takes that one on early. He doesn't catch it at all on his left foot. Very two-footed player, usually, Nick Morton, and very happy to just pull the trigger there. Smith sells a little bit of candy. He'll go direct up to Tolove, who's hit the ground running in NPL 26. Coming across from New Zealand, takes 2 on, and big call to be made. Bit of body-on-body contact, and the referee says no foul. Also says no foul there. Maybe setting the standard. A little bit of physicality is allowed today. Referee of immense experience, Brenton Copra. Here's Barton. And Smith has to turn out of trouble. And the press from Samuel's good. Maddock might get the advantage here. Is he in behind? It's Rex Maddock. Pokes it home! Making it 1-0 on the counter-attack. It was a really good press from Divine Samuel. Advantage was paid. And Maddock on the breakaway. And that's what everyone at Darcy Street has been touting for the last season and a half. Rex Maddock with his pace in behind. And a bit of a marker for South Hobart early. A few complaints from the Devonport players on the other side of the pitch. But no complaints from elsewhere on the park. And it's a big start for South Hobart. Energetic press from Divine Samuel and Rex Maddock just teaming up on Smith. And it is a bit of a back three here for Devonport. And that might be just the stretching of the play that South Hobart will be looking to try and enact with Oates and Maddock. Against the vastly experienced back three of Park and Barton and Smith. Smith just got himself in a bit of trouble there and couldn't get the clearance away. Breakaway came. Can Leyway answer immediately? Jack Bowman's across to cut it out. So just catch our breath a little bit. It's only 5 minutes in to have 1-0. If anyone was watching matches midweek, we might be in for another barnstormer here at Darcy Street as Fragasso comes and does get there in the end, even with the body pressure of Brodie Dennehy. Here's Son, just puts the brakes on and recycles possession. Kakuba with a beautiful splitting ball and tries to release Maddock. I think that is the strategy here. As just gets held up for a little second there. Header comes away. It's Kemp again. Maddock with a 1-2. Jolivet marshalling that defensive midfield with the intervention for Devonport. interestingly, Brady Last has sort of come back over into a bit more of a traditional fullback position, so he may be sort of underlapping today. Obviously, his assuming brother or relation Taylor Last, one of the better midfielders to marshal the Devonport midfield in the last decade even. I'm a big fan of his work, and it's probably been the struggle over the last probably season or two for Tom Ballantyne is just managing that exodus of players to different opportunities, obviously with mainland opportunities calling. It's always good to see players from Tassie testing themselves, but really dating all the way back to Braden Mann, had a sort of a steady stream of players sort of either retire or move on to other things. He's Dennehy. He's one who has come back this season. Just his energy and sort of nose for goal will be important throughout this whole campaign for Devonport. You also talk about the Bidwells, Eddie, and Charles now. Charles obviously missing lengthy parts of last season with that suspension, but he's also headed off. And Anna Lee on the women's side as well. A whole Bidwell family now to other things. And that's probably just been that period of rebuild that Imports have got in. Maybe hasn't hit the ground running as Kemp hits it well and off the crossbar. It's an absolute cannon on the left foot from Kobe Kemp and rebounds and stays out. Did look like it bounced forward. I think Harper had absolutely no chance of saving that one. And referee and linesman on the far side happy to say no goal. Will be a corner anyway to South Hobart. They've started energetically here. So back post ball. Kakubo's at the back. Kemp heads it back in. Bicycle from Morton. They are a team that like to try the bike. He's already scored one of those this season. As Bowman will try and get it back in the mixer. Little flick on from Maddock doesn't work, but last touch isn't great. And Berezanski's vision is good, but just wasn't quite on the same page as the captain, Nick Morton. It's physical contest. Tolove wins out and does get fouled on the way through. He's probably the other talking point of this season. He's scored in nearly every game for Devonport by way of New Zealand. And with, again, those exoduses over the last few years of Roberto Fernandez-Garrido in particular, Golden Boot winner over a long sustained stretch for Devonport. Just didn't quite get the balance right. Colin Ennis was good last season, but obviously he hasn't come back as Jolove nods it in looking for Park. As Dennehy tries to counter press and the ball is in a great one. Leeway's touch lets him down a little bit. He's patient enough to sort it out. And they will just slow the game down and again look direct over the head of Son and easy head away for the fullback. No one in the channel for Jolove, so he'll go back into the middle as Last is underlapping here. So Devonport with that flexible kind of back three in possession and back four out of it. He's Last again. To the feet of Tolove. Does look like a neat footballer. Dennehy. Tolove. Jolove. It's a nice little rhyme for us in the commentary box this season. And Devonport trying to work some triangles. They do it quite nicely. Tolove's onto it. Had a look up, didn't have the back post run, and does sneak it over the back in the end. And the back stick run from Kelly. Well marshalled by Bowman. Here's Oates. Doesn't really have a lot in front of him. He's got the switch on now to Maddock. He does take it in the end. Maddock's got space and powerfully shot, but well over the bar in the end. It's just an exciting sort of development over the next, I could imagine for the next few seasons for South Hobart. Maddock and Oates operating on both wings. We still have all that experience in that attacking midfield space with Morton and Kobe Kemp. Does mean that Berezanski has to cover a lot of ground in the defensive midfield. There's Harper with a lovely long ball in that beautiful sunny Hobart sky today. Kemp with some space. Bowman. Samuel. Referee lets it go. Morton, he's got the overlapping run of Son. To the back post. Park's going to have to deal with it and does flick it out. We'll step over from Lewa. Cut out by Kobe Kemp. Just joining us, just about 12 minutes in here at Darcy Street. 1-0 to South Hobart with an early goal to Rex Maddock. South have started the more threatening for sure. They've hit the crossbar once and scored that goal. Devonport is trying to get their foothold in this game and trying to play little sort of triangles through to Tolove. Hasn't quite come off just yet. He has looked good in how he's run the channels so far for Devonport. There's Dom Smith with a hoofing ball out. Kubo doesn't deal with it that well, and Tolove goes for the spectacular. Caught Fregasso off his line. Didn't hate the idea, just not the required direction from the Devonport strikers, number 9. And South will just walk it out with Lancaster. Finds Kemp, who has some time. Just shuffling them wide, and Kikugo launches it long. Park with the header. Will slip over by Jolivet. Morton away by Park. As South will just try and play a little bit more patiently through their setup. They do like to knock it about with their centre-backs, both very comfortable on the ball. Lancaster, really a converted defensive midfielder, and Kubo, one of the best ball-playing centre-backs in the league. Even in that Australian Championship where the level of pace was just up a little bit extra, he looked really good with some of his passing. As Park plays the ball on his own. And doesn't quite come off for Liam Kelly. Tried to drop the shoulder, and Lancaster read it well. Park will try to play out. Lewa. Nice quick feet. Last with space. He just knocks it straight back in the middle. Poked back out. And last again. He's got some space to run, but doesn't want to take it. He's got Rex Maddock for company, but they'll look for the 1-2 instead. It's not the awful ball from Dennehy, but it did just get a touch on it. And Divine Samuel has space to run. Can he cut inside? He's working his feet out. Does hit it in the end and well blocked. Park's going to have to deal with that. And does. Oates with a poke forward. Bit of body on body in the middle. Kemp with clean possession. Can he wind up? He goes low. Samuel! And blocked in the end by his own player. And out of play. A little ricochet off Morton. Could have worked out very well there. The keeper would have had no chance if it found its way to that near post, but opposite happened there. As Last has had his shoelaces undone this entire half, which is an interesting piece of play. That, sometimes got to be comfortable in your own way. There's been a lot of ball over this near side, which has been good for the spectators so far. We'll skip throw in. It's Kelly. Can they work it out? Devonport, a little shot in. Doesn't quite come off from Bates. Samuel again, one out with Barton, and Smith plenty of time, almost as a traditional sweeper there. And Harper, it's a good range of with his kicks. An absolute cannon of a leg. Fregasso instead will mop up. And South will try to reload here. South this season, almost been a bit of an under-the-radar kind of start of the season for them. They haven't really been challenged in that many of their games. I think that Kingborough game is one that people would have circled as a bit of a trap, but they came out of that fairly comfortably, really running over the top of the Lions in the second half. For Devonport, it's been a little bit less comfortable, but for them, they're a team that traditionally a 1-0 victory is something they revel in, and a few of those this season. As Lewa, so one-on-one with Bowman, little step over, tries to tee it up to Bates. He squares it to Tolliver, hits it well and straight at the keeper in the end. Didn't handle it that well, Fragasso, just due to the power of the shot. And Tolliver, it's a bit of a complete forward this season. And that's been, I think, probably half of the challenge for Devonport. It's been sort of harping on a little bit this last couple of years. Has been only 2 years since they won the title, but last season they weren't really on the pace at all throughout the year. I just think with Dennehy coming back and Tolliver looking like a absolute find, to be good for them. There's Jolivet, gets it up. Tolliver's there. No free kick, as the fans on the South Hobart end would have liked, but Fragasso easily collects. They do try and play out short. Berezanski a little bit isolated. They will try and skip through this defensive wall that Devonport have. Just making a little bit of a sort of a half space sort of pressing wall. They're not trying to go too hard at the centre backs, as Oates will collect for South Hobart. Nice neat feet. Bowman doesn't quite get his pass through to Harry Oates. Ball into Kemp. Can't quite get through the traffic. Again, doesn't quite come off for Bates. Sorry, Kelly, actually. It's Kelly again, too. Sort of curly hair, mullets, playing in similar positions. It will make my job a little bit harder than it normally is. Connor Park sorting it out well. He's been the most active of Devonport's defenders, tucking right in and making those good aerial interventions. It's sort of that matchup of styles again, that very experienced back three, all so good in the air and really comfortable in their defensive duties. Here's Kemp, he'll shoot it early and squirts across the face. And Harper went full stretch and looks like he got a hand on it or a little deflection. And they have picked up, it'll be a corner. Kemp's been looking very ominous in this first half. Shooting from distance. It's been pretty threatening so far, already hitting the bar once with an absolute rocket. Berezanski will take the corner. Goes back post. Kemp with a free header. Just didn't quite get the purchase. And he's normally so good in the air. Obviously getting to that one first. Got to make sure you've got at least an eye on where Kobe Kemp is off the corner. Probably a little bit of a lapse there by Toby Barton. Harper has to get rid, and with a lovely long ball, Tolliver. Pressure on Berezanski, able to get it to Oates, and Berezanski has a couple of complaints to the referee. Just making sure he's aware of all the physicality that's happening today. I think Copper is happy to let most of it go so far. It's been a fairly physical start to the game. And Dennehy makes sure Son doesn't have it easily down the line. The referees right onto just taking a little bit of extra territory. And they'll say, didn't go back far enough. Coach Edwards just questioning where Copper was actually pointing. There's a few complaints from South Hobart. That's where the throw was supposed to be taken, and given the free kick was, the change of possession on the throw happened, just weren't quite onto it. Referee says that's okay, and we're through that little bit of argumentative play from both sides. The switch is a lovely one from Berezanski. Son with the underlap. This ball was a bit short, and Smith play it to Kelly. Definitely no turn there for Kelly. His last, Jolivet. Ball into Tollivi. His turn around the corner is just good enough. Plenty of space. Goes for the return ball. Lasted made a really attacking run. Poke comes out. Samuel doesn't get the foul on the way out. Smith doing enough in the eyes of the referee. Bates for Devonport. He'll try to run through. There's a nice little channel ball. Lewa gets there. Tees it up for Tollivi. And now Devonport with a little bit of sustained pressure. Here's Isaac Bates. Poke comes along, his last. And Jolivet's ball, radar a little bit off on that one. As South Hobart try to, if they can't get a bit more possession in that front half. Devonport have started to manage this sort of play a little bit more, with a little bit more purpose. Morton, Oates, Morton on the return pass. Was he being grabbed? Nothing doing, says the referee. Very physical game. Ref letting contact go so far. At least it has been consistent for both sides. Jolivet not liking any of the options he had. Smith sells some candy. And here's Barton. In this sort of hybrid defensive system that Devonport are using. The definite back three in possession. Goes for the channel ball. Last is on his bike. Fragasso is calm and he chips it over the top of him and finds the back of the net. A bit of class from Brady Last. What a channel ball and a good finish with Fragasso off his line. Caught in no man's land. Didn't get there. Wasn't staying on his line. I think Devonport have just identified that Fragasso will come a little bit. And that's where that hybrid back three system works so well. Gets the wing back up, and he finishes it with aplomb. And we're all squared up here at Darcy Street. The game has promised to deliver a lot. Is doing so far, at least for the neutral. Don't know if I'd love to be either one of these teams if I was an Ultra supporter. South will do their little rugby kickoff. They sort of started implementing throughout that Australian Championship campaign. That's just throwing the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit. And it has been the case over the last probably 10 minutes that Devonport have looked the more threatening. And now South, can they respond? Maddock will get on his bike and he'll get it into the feet of Oates. Clears his feet well, hits well, and a little poke around the corner from Tiger Harper. A very good reaction save. Thought almost he didn't get enough of a hand on that. But was strong going down low to his right. Nice bit of striker play really from Harry Oates, who's moved into the middle a little bit more. So they've just been flexible with their front three after the goal, South Hobart. They'll have another corner here. They've had 3 or 4 so far. Rosansky's been going back stick for most of these. He'll do it again. Looking for Lancaster, who does get his head on it, but enough Devonport pressure to make that header difficult. As Barton will take, and Harper, again, one of these young keepers. I think it is sort of battle of the young, sort of new keepers to the league. Both have some good raps coming in and have performed well so far. And so far, Harper's had the more to do and probably been the more successful in what he's had to do. Fragasso only, again, just caught off his line and just a little bit of quick thinking from Brady last. And did it with just that nice bit of precision, cushioned it well, and keeper really had no chance in the end. As he's tucked back in to that back forward. That's something that Devonport have played with for really over the years under Ballantyne and also Chris Gallo. A game here a few years ago where had Raph Reynolds at the time. He's dropping into a defensive midfield sort of spot from centre-back at times. Probably one of the few teams that do flirt with that back three at times. As Tolliver might be in, he does get there first. Good save from Fragasso, who gets collected, but cleared away by Lancaster, and Lewa will follow up and put it well over as the referee does stop it. Definitely got collected on the way through there, the South Hobart keeper. Can't have been too comfortable. Definitely something that he had to come for and did well to make a block. You see the movement of Tolliver. Doesn't look like he's that quick in terms of how he sort of operates, but he definitely has got that smooth silkiness to him. Able to beat Kakubo in a foot race. And as I said before, this one's been absolutely delightful to watch so far. Really enjoying bringing this one to you. As we have a little bit of a break in play as South Hobart grab a drink. It is a very warm day here at Darcy Street. Probably won't get much better conditions for football. The ground is looking okay. Still a few bare patches. Definitely not in its end of season sort of state. South Hobart, probably the club with the most teams, at least in the south of the state, given all three under 21s championship and Champ 1 teams, as well as a good complement of social sides that mainly play out of Wellesley and the WSL and also the women's championship, which you should keep an eye on as well. As that ball comes through and is skipped out. So yeah, they just have a huge amount of games that get played on Darcy Street every week, and that's not including potential juniors. As last goal scorer makes a mistake on this little get out of trouble move. Here's Divine Samuel, who's also been lively. Berezanski, raking ball, and Tiger Harper read it well. Park had Oates on his back. I think well done there in the end, but no one really wanted to try and make an interception as Harper rolls it forward and then looks for Tolliver. Lewa. Lancaster will bring it out of defence. And again, South Hobart wanting a free kick and not getting it. And referee happy to let a bit of physicality go as Tolliver is offside. And that could be a slight point of contention for South Hobart supporters. But again, it has been quite consistent. I think Copra's just been on that line of making sure either there's enough ball involved or whether it's really, really affecting the play. And to be honest, it's kind of what you want to see. Let it flow. And he played a really good advantage for South's goal as well. Matic is able to take full advantage of. Here's Ivan Jolivet, losing his footing. He's had a couple little slips on the Darcy Street turf. Oates will take it early. It's a good ball in, and Divine Samuel finishes a divine pass from Harry Oates. That's going to be a goal. I won't get too many easier than that just put on an absolute plate from Harry Oates. And South Hobart respond. Half an hour gone here at Darcy Street, and they go back up 2-1. Maybe just that break in play did actually just stop Devonport's momentum a little bit. South able to take a little bit of advantage there. And they're all queuing up at the back post there. I think Oates' ball, if it wasn't exactly precise, would have not made it through so easily for Samuel to finish off. And the defending champs respond in a way that you would expect them to. Is there more goals in this one? It does seem like it could be one of those days today. It's Kelly's ball. Doesn't quite get through. Devonport. Again, it's been a really even contest. South with easily the better of the first 15 minutes or so. And Devonport probably working their way back in up until their goal. And then, again, just a little bit of a down patch in play. Not a lot happening. And Oates able to break the game right open with that ball. And Samuel smoothly finished as Bates gets clipped on the way out. Bates is well down on the pitch. No cards coming out, and I don't think any reason to for the referee here. Cholove goes long. Tolliver's the target. It's Kelly. Just hasn't been able to sort his feet out that well. Asking for a handball there, the Devonport bench. Not going to get it. Park does chop Harry Oates. Definitely got way too much of the body there. Might have got the ball sort of going around him, but clipped him through. And South were trying to take that one quickly, but I think given the referee was having a bit of a chat to Connor Park, who was Oates' direct defender, very well managed in the end to not give that quick free kick. And Bowman will stand over it, and he'll go up the line to Oates. It's been really lively as Lewa earns a free kick. Just uses the momentum well to stop his body and let Oates just come through the back of him. I think that's been a real strength of the last season. You know, there was a lot of talk about the transfer window that South had last year, obviously with Hess and Kemp coming over and a few imports as well. Given their sort of stated aim of being that championship club from Tasmania. They did win the league in the end. Here goes Barton. And they won't quite find the intended target. But yeah, it's been almost a business as usual kind of off-season for South Hobart. Obviously, still a few big ins with Bowman coming back in and Samuel, one of the goal scorers today. As Oates does get chopped, and it won't be an advantage paid there. And I think fair enough, given there was a little touch on it from the Devonport players, and they all stopped as well. But a free kick in a good position, and really just droning on to say that bringing through Oates and Maddock and making them sort of full-time players in the squad, as they were sort of, Oates had some cups of coffee, had a few starts here and there, and by the end of the season he'd really improved, and Maddock probably just as a super sub, really more looking at that under 21s level. They've just given the keys to the car to them, and I think that's really made them very dynamic this season. Here's Berezanski. Barton's header is a towering one. Back in by Oates. Kakubo goes, and with a nice leap. Taken easily by Harper. His delivery by foot's been fantastic so far today. Berezanski. Ball comes through from Kemp. Samuel will pressure the keeper. Harper again looked very classy on the ball. Nice little poke out of trouble by Park, but doesn't quite find, well, doesn't quite keep it in. That's what we should say. Good atmosphere here at the ground today. I think a lot of people have circled this one on the calendar, again with a lovely afternoon. Really nice way to spend some time on a Saturday afternoon. Come and watch some NPL football of the highest quality. And it has been a good game so far. Tipped over the top by Berezanski. In by Oates. Almost a raking shot. I think he was looking for the back post run of Morton. He almost found the back of the net himself. Oates has been very lively out there on the right wing for South Hobart. As I said, and a player who's been much improved over the last season, really. And gone from that sort of bench player, just learning the pace of and the speed of the NPL. And looking like an absolute fixture, at least today. Be one of the first names I'd be looking at for votes. Devonport just got off the boil just a little bit again since that goal. Really since that break in play there, they had that shot. Got blocked by Luca Fragasso. Here's Tollivi. Little chip through. They wanted a handball. It did ricochet in an interesting way off Bowman, but don't think there was enough time for him to react, and honestly his hands were not that far away from his body either. Baywa. It's pulled back by Bowman, but goes through anyway. Gets his shirt pulled again. Goes through. Sets it up. Goes back in. Tollivi with the bicycle and a great save. Little scissor kick there from Josh Tollivi. Found the target, and Fragasso with his second good save today. Got caught out on the first goal, but made up for it in full on that. Jolivet again looking for Tollivi. Lewa. Goes Park. Kelly not able to get there in time. Jolivet again. Bates goes up and gets collected, but nothing doing. Fair contest. Here's Son. Maddock with the nice switcher play. Oates with some space to run. Again, Devonport playing quite narrow. His ball does get through to Son. Followed up and well blocked by Smith. Go Gadget legs on that block. Want a handball on the South Hobart bench. Not getting paid again. I think fairly again, Copper been ultra consistent today. As Jolivet does get a handful of shirt on Kakubo. It's a bit of a talking to and doesn't want to even make eye contact with the referee. Maybe more out of frustration than anything. We've all been there. You make a bit of a silly foul and you think, I know what you're going to say, ref. I've already said it to myself. Berezanski looks to send this one in. It's a little bit hung out. Kakubo will nod in anyway. Kemp, nice footwork and almost ricocheted into the feet of Samuel. As Harper goes again. Tollivi, I think just saving some energy there on that one. A little bit too long. And the long balls from Tiger Harper have been quality so far. That's probably the second time he's really overhit one. And as we creep towards half time, 5 minutes to go here in this one. It's Berezanski. Son. Goes back outside to Maddock. He'll probably want to cut in on his right. Does so, and well blocked by Brady last. He doesn't know where the ball's gone. Full 360. Morton does know where the ball is and then tees up Kobe Kemp. Raking ball out wide. It's Oates again. He goes back in the middle and a big sliding save from Connor Park. Oates again creating some trouble out there on the right wing for South Hobart. It's been a good even contest here. I don't know if either team really want to tweak things too much. Berezanski goes back stick again. Kakubo. Barton heads it and then does get collected on the way through. Just a bit of an awkward landing from Mushi Kakubo. And Harper will take. Here's the other point of contention that Devonport might have. Had a bit of a half shout for a pen early in the game. And South Hobart scored almost directly off that passage of play. Probably have to have a good look at the replay, but I think it was a very consistent call from Brenton Copra. He's been letting that sort of physicality happen, and I don't think there was anything too untoward. Maybe not worth a pen in any case, but there might be a few Devonport supporters out there who disagree with me, and that's more than okay. As Copra does pull it back for a free kick in the end, as I think it was Kakubo who got pulled down. And at least the scoreboard at the ground saying 2 minutes to go here in the first half at Darcy Street. I'm going to take this moment just to revisit that piece of trivia that I gave you early in the day. So the other two sides, apart from Devonport and South Hobart, who have won NPL titles since we reintroduced the State League, are Glenorchy Knights, obviously, and then Olympia in 2015. Obviously not a top flight side anymore. Great side. I was doing some research earlier in the week, just looking back on some of the teams that have played. So put that thought to bed as Oates gets absolutely clattered into. It's very, very high, and Kobe Kemp's upset about that one. Definite slice of cheese. There's a bit of physicality and afters happen as well. Kubo just trying to break it up. Berezanski's not enjoying the afters happening. It was a little bit high. I don't think there was any studs or anything, but it was definitely no ball at all. And extremely physical from Toby Barton. Definite slice of cheese from up here in the stands at least. And I think Kemp was wanting more than that. Again, without having the benefit of replay. You're probably not quite. Yeah, I'm not sure. Just having to think about whether I'd maybe on that orange side of things rather than a full red. And I think pretty appropriate just to give that a slice of cheese and no more for Barton. And has given a set piece away in a pretty threatening area here on the stroke of half-time. Made a bit of a business decision there to say, I'm not letting Oates run through on goal here. I'd rather Kemp or Morton test out Tiger Harper from a tight angle and one that would only really benefit a left footer if he's going to shoot. But it does look like he's sort of shaping up to pop this up to the back stick, Kobe Kemp. However, seen stranger things. He's still in a decent spot. Copra's just getting the wall set up. Can Kobe Kemp change the state of the game on the stroke of half-time? Bit of a quiet coming over Darcy Street for this moment. Does go low. Almost took a bit of a bobble off there. Almost set up for Berezanski. Matic will go back in, but everyone coming back in from an offside position. Be a little bit frustrating as Harper's throws an excellent one. Only just got through the window there. Kelly's ball doesn't find last. He's going to have to track back very hard here as Matic might be through. He's got Smith covering. Again, wants his right foot. He'll spin back onto his left and runs out of room. Probably the one you could say especially these veteran defenders from Devonport. They are just going to sit on you and not let you cut inside. Going to have to mix it up a little bit more. They did take that goal very well, Rexmatic, to put them up 1-0. That's a really nice ball from Harper. He's kicking it regularly 3/4 of the way up the pitch. A lot of keepers have good legs, but that's different to a lot of players. And he hit Tollevate with accuracy too. They're pretty happy having him at the club this season. Definitely not quite the height. He might really might be a bit of a challenge, but he's been good with his hands too. As Copra's been right on that one today. His son bringing it back. He throws a good one into Kemp. Hits Morton on the first time. Volley. And that will finish out a rollicking first half here at Darcy Street. Been a great contest between the two sides locked together at the top of the table. A real contest fitting of such, well, position on the table. And it will be South Hobart heading into the sheds 2-1 up. Definitely shaded the first half in terms of quality. And Rexmatic opening the scoring with a great piece of pressing between him and Divine Samuel. And then response from Brady Last with a chip over the keeper. Bit of ingenuity there from the Devonport wing-back. And then to put them 2-1 up, it was Divine Samuel with the goal. A very clean finish off a great bit of work from Harry Oates. Both coaches will have a lot to talk about here at halftime. They might not want to make too many changes. I think for us here at the ground and also at home, just have a bit of moment to catch our breath, and we'll join you for the second half right after this.
We've made some new hires. Ooh.
Introducing Macca's Korean Barbecue Dunk Range.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
this, and like I'd love to know it. Like, we had a side where I think it was my last 3 years. I had like a back injury or something, and so I was more like invested in like I can't even remember, like maybe it was the year before we just came in and we had like and Nick doing in his prime and whatever.
Yeah, like a cup.
Yeah, and then what was it? So we got relegated that year, and it was like Hamish Peacock in goals and like Rory McCallum was like a name that. And I remember when I went up there, everyone was like, "Oh, we need to get these back involved." But Hamish was like, literally like never played because he played like 2 games, so he had Marty Peace in goals. Yeah, love Marty, but we ended up going to Elliot Hoyce. It was like 13 at the time. So I remember him getting stuck into the sheds on night because he was losing it or something. And Elliot making his debut goes just gives us a spray, and it's just legendary moment.
Yeah, no, I ran into Peacock at a mutual friend's birthday one year, this is years back, and I pretty much just spent 10 minutes not asking him about how was the world, because he finally got overseas by that point. It was like, how was your one random season playing 6 games for uni and throwing at the entire league?
Yeah. And I was looking at the team we had, it wasn't that bad, but it was just the depth of the league was a bit different. I think it's just the thing I think is just 2 teams at every club means that like South have like 5 teams that are like, the champion champions in national, and then they've got under 21s. And it's sort of like we often at uni like profited a little bit before they sort of came back into the champ. The players who were players and just wanted a bit of a scene change and maybe they could have played resis, but I think that would help rather than the whole like import argument. I really honestly think we've at NPL level always had a few and a lot of these great.
I hated that argument.
The Vicky Marines and stuff like that, and like Misty Van Dorn.
And I hate that argument. There was all the even older people who played all the 80s was the glorious. The reason we say 80s was glorious is because we're the best ever. We can't say it now and then say, 1984 was their best season. We had fucking Bobby Charlton's nephew playing.
Mark Astley sent me a video, maybe last year, and it was just like a random game, Uni versus Clarence, up in Lily Grove 2003, and they had highlights for it. And that's like our Uni's like pride. We won the state league. And, Proudy and like Craig Pitt and what's his name? But yeah, lots of club legends basically. And we sat down and watched that, and it was just running and like literally running around and just goofy.
Have you seen, I think it's the 2010 year, it's the first year it's all on this person page. There's a game here in August, and it looks like it's been played in a field, not at Darcy. Like, it is. I swear to God they put a truck on this ground, and they're just, I think it's either it's Clarence or Eagles, and it's just 14 minutes. 2010 that's the one I go back to when I'm on a nostalgia trip.
Yeah.
That one.
Although, weirdly, that first game in the Victory League was really good. It was like Aaron Marnie, who played up at he was on fire that day. Like, he was creating stuff and nice. And, South had a bit of an interesting side because I saw in between that, like, Tom Roach. Euro, and then, like,
shaky.
The one where, Brennan and my like, Eagle 93, 94, state players, they would have just been playing seniors, basically.
How many games have you done this year?
Not many, like 2.
Okay.
Actually been 1 month.
Yep.
Been a lot up north.
Yeah. I mean,
I think Tanner's done 1. Rowan Pitts, who, I don't know if you know him, but
this is the guy from Michigan.
yeah, he's sort of just like social coach, but he was pretty good fun week at South East. He's like representing and stuff. Yeah, I was on that one, but I was sick, so I didn't end up.
You think he was going to be out of trouble in the show? That's my guess.
I think I was with him. So yeah, just necessarily. If they're the Lions, Knights game was pretty good. Knights, very bit of a transition phase.
Well, I did a manual.
I had an okay game.
I can't remember what game it was against, and I'm like, yeah, Shamrock's been up since the year, and then
Yeah.
I came out a little bit from there. So
Trying to bring the young players through, and a couple of their imports don't look like
the chip goal was throughout.
yeah.
The reports are objective.
Yeah.
Like,
Solid
that's
is
not
like
yeah,
class.
it is really easy.
But yeah, I think they'll sort it out. Like, I don't think they'll get relegated in one of those games. Maybe I think they'll build to next year and they'll be back up.
I saw how comfortably they did South East come last night.
Just Southeast, we've done something with Browns on the way and they sacked
Yeah, that chat GPC report presser was I was like, I hadn't really looked at anything for the year, and when I saw that, I'm like, back in, mate. This is the NPL has me like.
Yeah. Just like, no, I mean, I don't really have any sources over there. Like, maybe I'll ask Lachlan Brown about it.
I did, but I'm on a sabbatical from work, so I can't use my work sources. I used to sit last year. I sat opposite the assistant Reggie's coach, which was great. But yeah, I essentially had Sarah Sambo. He's trying from my desk to work last year.
Ah, yeah.
I had Sambo Dancing coach there. I had South East Reggie's coach there, and I had the dad of Knights under 21 coach there.
Yeah.
So Monday was just a triangle to get in.
That's nice. My only source is Taruna, women's, which is not that useful because they lose it.
I did see they got their 2 imports back that they had last year after their brief sojourn in Newcastle. And now they're back. And I was like, oh, well, that means they'll probably beat Riverside today.
Yeah.
That game's on now.
History.
Oh, yeah. No, I trust them. Oh, yeah.
I'm involved with the women's. I'm coaching camp at uni. Yeah, so we're quite good. But I'm helping with the whole program. And our Chat 1 team is like social league 1 team. We're okay. Theirs is like Ali.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
And they just kick it to each other and score.
I nearly screenshot it because
They win 10-0 every week.
Yeah, I nearly screenshot it and sent it to them and just captured how many WSL games did this team win? With like delayed in defence, Ali one. I was like, it's like Zephyr's 2017 team.
They should at least be playing champ. I think they would probably. I trust our own team. They've got the points in the bag. But like, honestly, they would.
One team still like roughly the same as the last
Anyway,
year.
get out.
So they have played
Good to run them out.
or against most teams.
Yeah.
It's just people that see it like Wednesday night.
Yeah, I don't like not really like not like Annika Roach and Mish is sort of playing this year.
Yeah.
And a lot of new players.
Okay.
It's sort of it's more serious.
Yeah, okay. So a few of like either gone up and then
Yeah. Anyway, it's nice chatting about that
Yeah.
stuff.
absolutely. Get back to
I haven't done it in a long time. And I was like, it's contest that deserves a bit of research. Nice to sort of kill on the nostalgia.
Yeah, so like eventually, it was final race day. I was about like going back
Welcome back to Darcy Street for the second half of this round 7 NPL matchup between South Hobart and Devonport. It's 2-1 at half time. It's been an absolutely fascinating contest. Really, been great for the neutral supporter to watch and great for at the moment for the South Hobart supporters, being 2-1 up. However, Devonport have been right in this one. They'll be a little bit disappointed to go into one down, although I think South Hobart have had the better of the play and definitely put more pressure on them. However, they've had a few good opportunities, Devonport, and they're definitely not out of this one. So we look forward to bringing you the second half here. And thanks for joining us on Football Tasmania TV. My name's Alex Mummery. And as I said, very much looking forward to the second half of this one. We'll see if any tactical tweaks have been made. And South will do their customary rugby kick-off. As Berezanski heads forward straight away. It'll be Berezanski again. And Park will head out of play. And just sort of remarking on that, what you sort of do as a coach at half-time in a game like this. I think South won't want to change things too much. They're almost wanting to get that isolation of Oates on the wing a little bit more. Here's Bowman. He goes around Lewa. Low ball for Oates, for Samuel. Away by Lewa. Devonport, I want to find Tolliver just a little bit more. He's had his hands full with Lancaster as Lancaster comes away with that one. And Bowman wasn't quite on the ball for that one. And Dennehy might be able to counter here. Lovely little flick to Tolliver with space to burn. Kakubo's coming across and Bowman bundles him over. No free kick. It's a little bit questionable and they'll get it on the way out as Dennehy does infringe. I will say Copra's been fairly consistent with the physicality let go in this one. I'll let you make your own mind up about that. Tom Ballantyne a little bit disappointed about not getting a free kick. Tolliver definitely wanting one. South will come away with it. Tolliver had that counter-attacking opportunity. Really nice flick from Brodie Dennehy. Just getting back up to speed in the NPL for a couple of years. At least 1 year off. He's putting his body about there. Here's Divine Samuel. One of the goal scorers in the first half. Son, low ball. These low balls have been very threatening for South Hobart. Here's Maddock, a young live wire for South. Last ball doesn't find Isaac Bates. Lewa. Park. Lewa again. He just looks for the channel. Not the best left-footed clearance from Connor Park. Not at forward again. And that'll trickle through to Tiger Harper, who has been excellent with his delivery so far. Smith. His long ball doesn't find the target of Brady last. Just thinking about what tweaks they might make in the second half. It's been a little bit of a feature of Devonport this season. They've started to bring through some more of those under-21s who've been really all conquering. I know Geordie Payne has had a bit of a run last season. He's on the bench again. Nice to see Taden Lyle, who was the captain of that squad for at least on and off. They're calling the Lacka Celtic Cup game. Actually, Zebra's got over the top of them in that one. A couple of years ago, under 18s. Kemp tries to earn a free kick, and that's not called. It's cut out by Kakubo. Smith. Lumped forward again. It's a good channel ball. Lewa. Bowman calmly collects, and Berezanski puts Oates on his bike. Here's Harry Oates. Really been one of South's best today. Will step over, goes to the byline. Low ball, finds Morton with the back heel, and just behind the striker. And Maddock can't clean up. It's Oates again with a quality ball in, just a little bit behind. Nick Morton, who tried the spectacular little back heel. Just been creating some really good opportunities for South. They might live to regret that one just a little bit. Have had a couple of opportunities that haven't quite gone in, and they're keeping Devonport in the game at the moment. Long raking ball for Kemp. Nods it back up high. Lancaster's in the mixer. And Jolivet will go forward. Here's Ivan Jolivet again. Can he release out wide? Dennehy collects again. Maybe could have gone wider for Tolliver. Berezanski beat the press. He does, and releases Son. David Son. Maddock leaves it behind. He's got Son ahead of him. And Morton coming to greet the ball. Kemp. Kobe Kemp. And comfortably taken in the end for the Devonport keeper. Low ball. Morton. Here's Oates again. He shoots powerfully. Well dealt with by Harper. Don't think he saw that until very late on. Made a good reaction save. Harry Oates again. Finding the ball at his feet in some good areas. Bates comes in across. Samuel. And will be a corner for South Hobart. As Courage Lewa will argue the point and not get his point effectively across to the linesman. Berezanski's delivery has been consistent today. Lining up at the back stick again, South Hobart. Out swinging this time. Barnstorming run from Kakubo. They poke it back in. Morton. Kakubo again springs to feet. Lewa holds it up and is adjudged to have infringed. A little bit too much of a bear hug, Copra is saying. And South have started well in this in this second half. Come out of the traps, and Devonport haven't had a lot of possession at all. Here goes Berezanski. Nice ball in. Kakubo with the flick on. It's Samuel! And somehow flicks up over the bar. Devonport doing enough, apparently, to block that one out, and it goes out for a corner. Out swinging corner. They queue up again and somehow finds its way over the bar. Maybe came off the back of a Devonport player. They do not agree, the Devonport back three. They're just a little bit apoplectic about that decision. Park, in particular, saying it's easily come off Kakubo, but it will be another corner. Really upwards of double digits now for South. Back stick again. Kemp. Park heads away. Maddock. There's a switch on here. They won't take it. And Kemp will lump it in the box. Well chested by Morton. Poked away by Bates. Jolivet will come away with it. Lewa. Oates deals with it easily. Nice long throw from Connor Park. Nodded forward. Maddock. Not a lot of width for South Hobart. Morton does take a tumble and it's given by the referee. Again, Devonport arguing the point. This is in a very dangerous spot. Kobe Kemp will want to line this one up. Mawson's also in the mix. This is the sort of thing you'll be practicing in training. About 10 metres outside the box. Maybe a touch less, given the wall's just inside of it. Let's call it 8. And Harper in goals. It's Kobe Kemp and hits it well, finds the target, but Harper just got body checked on the way out. I thought he might have dropped it there for half a second. Was alive to that one. Nice direction from Kobe Kemp. Got it up and down. Nice bit of curl on it. So not the required power to beat Tiger Harper. He'll send it nice and long. Bowman nods it down. Jolivet. Again, has a bit of shirt and does get called. And Jolivet doesn't want to listen to Brenton Copra's explaining to him what's happened. He's saying no more, and there's definitely no free kick there as he's having a chat. Sorry, no quick free kick, I should say. Definitely a free kick, but just Berezanski trying to get things moving a little bit too quickly. Just have to do a bit of administration here. Jolivet doesn't get a slice of cheese. Just gets the no more theatrical warning, which makes it easier for us here in the stands. Berezanski, it's a little bit long. Harper comes and stretches very well. He's been pretty impressive in the Devonport goals, in all honesty. Very solid with just those basic skills. And his kicking as well has been absolutely fantastic. Last sort of awkwardly took that on his chest. Berezanski, ball through is quite good. Smith sorts it out in the end. And Park. It's just been very direct from Devonport in this second half. They've been trying to bypass this midfield from South Hobart. Lewa just has not had a good time of it in the second half. Sort of doubling up on him. Bowman flies for that one. And interestingly playing quite direct again, Devonport. I think they did sort of play a little bit more in that first half. They were quite good. They haven't been able to get on top of it. Here they go now. Bates will play it short. Dennehy. It's carried off. It didn't get a call. Well bodied by Samuel. He gets it across to Kobe Kemp. Maddock. And he turns away. And out of trouble. And we have a player behind play down. It is Toby Barton, and just having a bit of a second. Does look like it might be a little bit of cramp, given Harper is stretching it out. It is very warm here today, and I think that is something that we'll have to manage throughout this second half, is just a bit of that sort of cramp and hydrating properly. Looks like he might be coming off anyway, Barton. And Cody Sturzaker will be coming on in his place. And Geordie Sheen as well, the other replacement, with Liam Kelly jogging his way off. So Devonport, first ones to try to make a bit of a change in this one as we approach an hour gone. And this might be a revert back to a traditional back four. They've sort of been playing this hybrid back three with the wing backs pushing up where they've had possession, and then back in sort of a back four when they haven't. So maybe Smith and Park will just play that definite centre-back role with Geordie Sheen at left back by the looks of it. With Button coming off, so they don't have that third centre-back player anymore. Tolliver through his layway with a little bit of space. He hasn't had a lot of that in the second half. Let's go forward. It's Bates. Hit it low. Layware again. Nowhere to go, but will hit it and like a curling, raking effort with a bit of power. Just needed a little bit lower, and it might have been a flying sort of fantastical goal. First time he's really had space to run at South Hobart in this second half, and maybe this change, just a bit of energy, a little bit of a tactical tweak from Tom Ballantyne is just what they need. South on top here at Darcy Street. 2-1 up. Potentially could be more. That's an interesting little through ball. Fragasso's out to it easy. And he puts a good ball into Oates, who gets there in front of Park. He's got Samuel in the middle. Tries to go around the outside of Sheen, who's just come on. And that's a great piece of defensive play from the substitute. Read that one very well. Just bodied him off with a bit of class. Devonport will try and play here. They've got Bates come very short. Harper again with his playing out's been very impressive. Here's Morton, who's coming back from an offside position. And they'll get picked up by the lino. And they're leaving everyone else high. So Sturzaker, who's a bit of a utility player. I know he's played it sort of everywhere when he has been on for Devonport. He's come in as a bit of a second striker, playing almost a front four at times. Maybe Tolliver's just dropping in just in behind the front three at the moment. I think that is the change. So Dennehy and Sturzaker up top. Jolivet doesn't get around his opposite number 8. Smith. Headers back in. Now Devonport with some territory. Oates again. Might be MVP of the game today. With 1 assist and some other good stuff. And Maddox in the way of the keeper. There's a lot of shoving, a lot of hands as well. Maddox will use his body well in the end. He's got some space teed up for Kemp. Both him and Jolivet miss it. Now Tolliver. Got Berezanski for company. Sticks a leg out. And that should be a slice of cheese slowing the game down, and it will be. Just a clear paddock of space for Tolliver to run in, and since he got around Berezanski, fairly easy decision to make for the referee. And that will be a yellow card for Berezanski. Barton, the other recipient of a yellow card, but he's gone off, so don't have to worry about that just yet. Devonport. Here for Layware again. Oates pokes it forward. Samuel will pressure Park. Park will just nod it into Sheen. And now Devonport with a bit more possession. The first time in the half, really, over the last 5 minutes, they've been able to really have any sustained ball. Here comes Tolliver. He's dropping just a little bit deeper now. Bates. Lewa. Oh, tackle each other, the Devonport players. Bates will receive it again, and he'll switch with a lovely raking pass. It hits Brady last on the feet. Living in 2022. Sturzaker. And Maddox will try to release Samuel. Be lumped up in the air by Harper. Really the first blemish with his feet today. It was a bit of a half volley, and honestly, you just take that clearance. Restarts a quick one, and Morton's got a bit of space. It's Nick Morton. Oh, tries to tee it up, and everyone running front post. They just needed someone to run back. Unfortunately, Oates and Samuel running into the same spot. It does happen when you're running at that pace, but a good run through from Morton. That's 2 they've had. Just haven't quite come off for South Hobart. Would have been goals if just the players were on the same page. Nice feed again from Tolliver. He's been very impressive today. There he goes again. Goes down. Limited contact, and Bowman will try to delay the restart. As Tolliver just kicks it straight into Kemp. Just demonstrating that they haven't been given the required distance, but given they're taking it quickly, don't have too many problems with that. One question I would have around some consistency there with Tolliver's run earlier in the half, but again, Copra, very experienced referee, and we're just up here with our opinions. You can have your own at home. Jolivet with a raking ball in, and it will come back away with Kakubo. South Hobart on the counter. Maddock. He's got pace to burn and a big sliding challenge from Bates, who celebrates as it takes a ricochet out off Maddock. He knew straight away. And Devonport looking like they could just have a bit of a sniff here. They're pushing for an equaliser. South will be very dangerous on the counter in any case. Sturzaker, Bates, Jolivet. Just a little bit too much sauce on his ball through. Skipping out wide. Smith. Harper. Nice chest from Jolivet. Forward from Bates. That might have a little bit too much on it. Looks like Sturzaker's onside though. Here's Dennehy in space. Sees it back up for Sturzaker and away by Lancaster. Bit of chaos up there in the South Hobart penalty area. And Devonport, first real opportunity of the second half. Didn't quite come off for them. Jolivet turns one way and then the other. Slides the ball in for Sturzaker. I think fairly enough, no free kick. Park. Smith has a fair bit of space here just to waddle it out of the back half for Devonport. Doesn't have much on and will get put under pressure from Divine Samuel, whose pressing has been very valuable for just hurrying up the Devonport defence. They haven't been able to play out with any sort of comfort at all. And there they go again. Team up of Samuel and Maddock on the press. And that's where that first goal came from for South Hobart. So into the 67th minute at Darcy Street. So about 20 minutes to play here, and South Hobart will go into their substitutes bench. As Peter Edwards will make a sub for Xavier Williams to come on. Another one of these sort of younger developing players for South Hobart. Looks like he's got a bit of pep in his step. South with a nice bit of clean play. Morton can't quite corral it. Does now. Gets through some traffic and goes through and puts it away. That might be the separator for South Hobart. Morton with the physicality, tracked down the ball, put his body on a few Devonport players, and they're complaining. And Park will get a yellow card in the background. But no free kick given by Brenton Copra, and it just fell to Morton's feet in the end, and that will be 3-1 to South Hobart with 20 minutes to play. As I said, that could be the separator as Vivi Chow gets the yellow card, maybe for over-celebrating or coming out of the technical area here. Just a bit of housekeeping for anyone involved here. Sorry, just another yellow card coming out. We're just going to keep track of that. That's a little bit of a letdown for Devonport. Just couldn't either block Morton off it or just put a foot through it. Have to look on the replay to see whether there's a free kick there. Devonport players obviously wanting one there. And definitely was a lot of physicality involved, a lot of push and pull, but Copper's been letting a lot of that go today. And Devonport would have to answer immediately back as Jolivet gets chopped on the way out. If they get one soon, I think they've still got a chance in this one, but 3-1 away from home. It's going to be a tough task for the Strikers, and as you might be able to hear, the South Hobart supporters are very excited to see Adam Gorry come on. Been working his way back from a pretty bad knee injury at the end of last season that kept him out of most of the Australian Championship. He's coming on against his old club, one of a few for Adam Gorry, but where he really came through. So having a little chat to Brodie Dennehy, really coming through around the same period. And Devonport get one back. Jolivet, it's a deep one, and Fragasso fairly comfortable in the end. And he just takes a limp and might have done a little hammy or something there. Or maybe just a bit of cramp for the keeper. Looks like he's a bit sore though. You can sort of just see that he slid on the awkward kind of landing. One of those ones where you land on your heels and not land on your butt, and it's a bit of impact, but looks like he's going to soldier on. That goal might just be the winner here for South Hobart today. This was sort of the trend in that other game that I think, as I was talking about earlier, the one that you might have circled as a bit of a challenge game for South Hobart. It was very close throughout that whole game against Kingborough. They just pulled away at the end, but Sturzaker's in here cleanly, sets up Dennehy to tap home. And it will be 3-2 here at Darcy Street. With Sturzaker very unselfishly setting that one up. Had a clear shot himself. And Dennehy won't get too much easier goals than that. And the crowd just a little bit stunned by that one here at Darcy Street. We're back to 3-2. I've been saying it all day. It's been a great game so far. And again, from a neutral's perspective, I'm absolutely loving this. South Hobart supporters, maybe after that goal, maybe not so much. Can we get another one? And a little sting in the tail for this one. I'd almost love to see a draw here, just given that both teams are locked together at the top of the table. Want to keep that sense of jeopardy going throughout the season. I think it'll be a good game up at Valley Road, whatever happens in this one, either way. If South do walk away with the 3 points. As it stands here at Darcy Street, we are 3-2. South Hobart still up with 15 minutes to play. And again, they sort of got that goal at Moreton a little bit against the run. Devonport weren't on it in the start of this half, and South were absolutely dominating. They've worked their way back in here. Can they bring another one back? They've got possession now. Here's Jolivet. Excellent tracking back from Williams. Looks like Maddock is the man to make way for him. Sorry, I didn't cross my I's and dot my T's on that sub. There's a lot going on at the time. As Dennehy's pressing his almost very dangerous for Kakubo, gets out of it. Sodden has been running up this touchline all day. He'll just slow it down, and now South will just switch the play. Lancaster. Morton, who's dropped deep. Interesting ball through for Gorry. A little bit harmless in the end. Park goes for Lewa and nodded away by Lancaster. Sheen. Ball through is a good one. Lewa with some space. Sturzaker makes a run. It gets cut back to the top of the box. Gorry will come away. He goes long. Samuel and Park will battle for it. Samuel will get there first. Ball in's a decent one. Harper has been very active, very busy in the Devonport goals. Takes that one well. Bates. He's worked his way well into the game. But that one wasn't the best display of what he can do. I think that through ball before was a little bit better example. Jacob Lancaster. Kemp just hoofs it forward straight away. And Oates, just saying, let's just settle it down a little bit. I think South could just try to keep it just a touch more. It's easy to say from up here, but just lost a little bit of control over the game the last 15 minutes, and that will create just a bit of an opportunity for Devonport to look for an equaliser. Before that, they were in almost complete control. Sheen throws it in, away by Berezanski. Smith gives Sheen some time. Jolivet. Bates, they work it through nicely here. Tolliver. Sturzaker. Away goes Oates. His ball for Kemp. A little bit off target. Jolivet. Devonport might be able to switch here. They prefer to go into the feet of Tolliver. He's looking for the runner. He's just complaining that he didn't have any options. But Bates goes in well. Tolliver. Bates. Morton doesn't get the tackle. Over the top, and it's just a little bit wasteful in both teams here. I think Devonport able to set that one up nicely, and then final ball, just a little bit off target. And South looking to utilise the far side. There is a bit more just space out on that side, but they like to bring it across again. No one's presenting in the midfield. Berezanski's being marked out of it by Sturzaker. I think they're trying to manage that. They don't want him to get on the half turn. And this is that creating just that uncertainty amongst the centre-backs of South Hobart, and meaning they have to play forward just because they don't have anyone to show feet to at the moment. And Devonport, with Park and Smith at the back, you'd expect them to mop up fairly regularly. Jolivet's been able to get on the ball just a tad more. And that one for Sturzaker doesn't reach the head of the Devonport striker. Jolivet goes in. Bates. Kemp. He's got some space to operate here, Kobe Kemp. Takes it on early and launches it. You can hear the groans in the home support there. Very uncharacteristic from Kobe Kemp. He'll try and make up for it with a bit of a pressing action there. Goes long. Tolliver chests it down. Jolivet. Bates. Away by Gorry. Getting close to 10 minutes to go here at Darcy Street. Might be a little bit of injury time, but there won't be much. Although it is Brenton Copper in the middle, so I do regret saying that, given the famous saying of Copper time. Shout out to Paul Hunt. There's Gorry, fields that one nicely. Away by Fragasso. Bates. Here's Tolliver. Cuts in on that right foot. Berezanski sticks a leg out. Tolliver does end up shooting, but straight into Kemp, who's defending well. Bit of control here for Devonport. He's got last in the middle, but goes back out to Bates. He'll tee it up. Almost goes for goal for a second, this angle, but just an inaccurate cross in the end. Looks like will be one more change, at least for Devonport. I don't know if South want to go to anyone else. Do you have Riley Morton if they do want to park the bus in the last sort of 10 minutes? That could be something to look for. Geordie Payne is just getting some instructions from Tom Ballantyne and Kieran Mulroney out there. Last is working hard to keep possession. He doesn't have any friends all over there. And the team of Son And Williams will end up giving away a throw, and Tom Ballantyne will make a substitution. As Courage Lewa will come off. And will be Geordie Payne coming on. And might just give them that different dynamic, a bit more height. As Lewa, an interesting battle today. Well held in the end by the South Hobart defence. Jack Bowman in particular out there. Get it straight away, Payne. Goes straight back in, and Tolliver's very disappointed with himself there. Sorry, last is. Similar boots. These are the sorts of opportunities that Devonport can't really afford to waste too many of. There's 10 minutes left. South, every goal kick will be like a shot to the veins for them. A bit of time out of the game never goes astray at this point when you're 3-2 up. The top of the table clash. Here's Park. Gorry. Here's Payne. Fragasso goes nice and long, finds the feet of Son, and he just got clipped on the way through. With the low socks and low shin pads. Might get that from time to time. The referee agreed that he did just get grazed by Brody Dennehy. South, again, they don't have a lot to play through in terms of the central midfielders. Devonport are just pressing them a little bit higher since they've changed formation. But they will play through the wings instead. Here's Son. Ball in to Williams is a good one. He can truck through the middle. And Xavier Williams! Devonport will get it underway quickly. They've got to push for something here. A loss doesn't really do them much good. Doesn't matter if it's 4, doesn't matter if it's 3-2. They're behind on goal difference anyway, and you'd expect that South will probably shade that throughout the season. But you know how effective and efficient Devonport teams are. Can they get a point here away from home? Go up in the air. Kakubo. Good ball through. Williams. Bit of a battle in there. Last sorts it out well. Jolivet. Just going back into traffic here. I'll get it long to Payne, who gets jumped over the top of by Kakubo. I think the hands just over the shoulders there. Makes that a bit of an infringement for the referee. And a free kick in a promising position. They've got a slightly taller lineup in with Payne on and Lewa off. Park and Smith come up from centre back. Jolivet over it. It's an interesting ball for Fragasso. Jolivet flying at it, and Fragasso comfortably taken. Calm performance in the second half from Fragasso. Morton. Samuel. Can he turn the corner? Not quite. Well out by Jolivet. Kemp. Can't make the challenge on Dennehy. It's a nice little save from Jolivet, but not quite in the end. As the Lino puts his flag up and the action gets the slice of cheese for Ivan Jolivet. Had a few warnings from Brendan Copper, and I think any more sort of afters, he's very happy to give Jolivet a yellow card for his troubles. Here's Oates. kept a little bit more quiet in this second half of the second half. Sturzaker's left foot lets him down a little bit there. And again, all this time out of play is absolute goal for South Hobart. Gorry hurls it in. Kemp. Kobe Kemp running through the middle. Sets up Nick Morton. Son with a bit of pace. Tees it back up. Away by Smith. Jolivet wanting some options. No one's coming to. He'll go long. And probably a little bit too long for Tolliver. Can he get there early? And Fragasso this time judges it well. For half a second there, that could have been a little bit like the first half. As Fragasso's wandered out of his box, and obviously has pulled it up for a head injury or at least a poke in the eye or something similar. And this might be time that Brenzy Copra will add on. Normally you don't have to ask him twice for a bit of injury time. Fragasso will take a free kick in the end, so Copra has given it. That's 2 minutes out of the game that may need to be added back on. Long ball forward from Fragasso. Park wins the header, but it ricochets off Kemp's back. Kemp. One out by Jolivet. Isaac Bates. He's got some time. Goes long again. Can he pick out Payne? Payne judged to maybe won a handball there potentially of Son. I don't think there was any other sort of free kick over there. And now Jolivet. So a few opportunities. He's just put him a little bit deep so far. Can he wind it back and find the head of one of the taller Devonport players? That's where Kieran Mulroney hurts a little bit for them this season. Jolivet. Payne with a header and just pokes it over the top. I wouldn't call it a free header, but it was a good opportunity. Just got underneath it. And that might be the opportunity they were looking for, Devonport. 3 minutes to play. Will they get another opportunity as good as that one? Might just have gone begging. Lancaster launches long. And he finds Williams. He's doing well to win it off last and does get forward in the end. Williams again. Oh, it's an interesting little ball, and Oates is just evaded by the ball. I think they wanted him to cut back and shoot and didn't quite find a teammate. There's been a couple of those for South this half. Just really good opportunities and great pieces of wing play, obviously. Just hasn't panned out for the forwards. Morton gets it to his partner in crime, Kobe Kemp. Got Gorry in an acre of space. They might just go for the corner here. We've got 4 minutes. 2 minutes with potentially more of injury time. Gorry turns at the corner. Oates looks to put it in the box. Looks like they are just going to attack. It's not the cleanest clearance from Park. Does the job. Kemp. Morton with a nice run inside. Drags it back, and again Samuel just in front of him. And that might be the fourth one that's gone whizzing past the face of a South Hobart attacker. They're finishing the game strong here, South. More possession they have, the less time Devonport have. Jolivet heads away. And South will get the throw. And they'll be taking every second they possibly can here. Long ball as Park might have just got one in the face. Goes down holding his head. Samuel goes through anyway. Tees it up to Kemp. who puts it wide uncharacteristically. He had time and space, and that was the one that the tee-up did work well. And unfortunately for South Hobart, they won't get the sealer just yet, and Park is in some pain. Probably allowed Samuel, to be fair, to get through. No free kick given. Park has gotten to his feet. So the scoreboard is showing 90 minutes now. How much injury time do we have today? That might be the only thing that can save Devonport at the moment. They're all queuing up forward, the boys in yellow. And South Hobart will look to take a little bit more time out of the game and make a substitution with Oates coming off, who's, to be fair, had a pretty blinding first half and a good game all up, setting up that second goal to South Hobart. And the substitute will be Jonte Lincoln Lomax. Big fly from Kakubo as the ball goes long, as Gorry gets a sort of a falcon there. Morton's streaking forward for South. They're finishing the game with some power. Williams doesn't want to go to the corner just yet. They're looking for more South Hobart. Morton will fire, and it's not that far away. And a bit of chat from Adam Gorry will get punished by the referee. A few slices of cheese in this second half. As the ball goes long again, Gorry will win it cleanly this time. Jolivet back in, away by Kakubo. Last looking for that throw. And won't get it in the end. Given he's trying to shield it out, I'm not surprised about the complaints from him there, but South will get it, and they'll just chuck it into the corner here. I'm assuming there'll still be a couple of minutes of injury time. Coppera's finding some free kicks to give at the moment. And Harper, I've been talking him up all game with his foot skills, and that's not his best work. And again, neither team able to get a real foothold here. And again, time out of the game will favour South Hobart. Long throw. In comes Jolivet. Been impactful in this second half. Cutting out balls. Devonport with a little bit of territory here. They're going to try and battering ram themselves up the pitch. Morton gives Samuel a really nice ball to run onto. Is he going to go to the corner, or is he just going to go for it? He's got Williams streaking forward for him and decides, no, we'll just hold it up instead, and we'll go to the corner now. Park just says, no, you won't. I'll take that away, but his ball out doesn't find its intended target. Maybe they'll go to the corner again here. Williams. They will, and Park says, no, you won't again, and earns a goal kick for them. So maybe they should just keep attacking South Hobart. It feels like Connor Park has that sorted out at the moment. Long ball from Harper is much better this time. Backing in is Payne. Wins it down. Quick feet. Doesn't have anyone up the line, so he's going to have to go himself. Maybe not the best decision, as Morton will come away with it easily. Morton wants the opposite corner and will try and put Lincoln Lomax in. Sturzaker goes direct, looking for Tolovi. Berezanski has to make a free kick. Sorry, has to make a header. So I almost wanted a free kick as Jolivet takes full advantage, and Lincoln Lomax gets a yellow card as well. It's all happening here. It's all happening here at Darcy Street. The higher contact, and this may be the little twist in the tail. You can hear just a bit of chatter in the stands at Darcy Street. The nerves are up. Can't be too much longer in this one. Jolivet over it. Goes to the back post. Smith is up. Parks there. Almost falls to him. Stirs Acre. Up for Kakubo. Dennehy. Jolivet. Goes long again. Fragasso's up. He spills it. Gets down and away by Son. Last is going to have to be clean. Harper's got to go long. He slices it up. Smith. Kemp wins a great header and then puts it out. That could be welcome relief for South Hobart. Again, can't be too much longer in this one, but then again, it is Copra time. The pressing doesn't stop from Nick Morton as Harper finds a really nice ball for Jolivet. They've got space out wide with Dennehy if they want it. It's a one-on-one with two old teammates, Dennehy and Gorry. Jolivet's ball back in. Berezanski nods away. And that will be the final whistle here at Darcy Street. The referee blows the whistle. And South Hobart will separate themselves at the top of the table with a gutsy 3-2 win. Devonport tried their hardest. Couldn't quite get over the line. It's been a ripping game of football for the neutral. And leaving me wanting more, in all honesty. I can't wait for the return leg up at Valley Road. But South Hobart doing the business. Nick Morton with the separating goal in the end. It's going 2-1 up at half-time. Devonport battled bravely to bring it back to 3-2. Again, defence at the end from South Hobart was just a bit too resolute. And we leave here today with a 3-2 result. It's been a fantastic match. And I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed it at home. I think we have in the stands. At least I have up here in the commentary box. It's been, just a great example of what the NPL has on offer. And as I said, looking forward to another one of these in a few weeks and potentially in the Cup as well. My name's Alex Mummery, and thank you so much for joining us again on a beautiful Sunday afternoon here at Darcy Street. Again, I hope you've enjoyed it. There's a lot of football to come on the Football Tasmania YouTube. WSL tonight, Glenorchy-Kingborough. Should be a good game, amongst others. Again, hope you enjoy your afternoon, and thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.